You are listening to an exclusive on Pod Hub Network. Your city, your podcast.
With the delight of this crowd, McClendon marches down the dugout steps with first base. McCutcheon's throw. The runner breaks to the plate. Here's the throw. Wow. He is out. The Buccos win. That ball's hit well to left center field. Back toward the track. And that ball is gone.
You are listening to the North Shore 9 podcast. Follow them on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Also, make sure to watch NS9 Live every Thursday on Twitch and help support by becoming a patron. Let's go Bucks!
I am Ryan Alexander. Along with me, as always, is Anthony DiNardo. DiNardo, what up?
What is up, Ryan? Happy 5th of July at this point in time, but happy 4th.
Happy 4th. Happy 4th.
Happy
did you guys,
18 days till opening day.
Right. Oh, I want to call this is like opening day 2.0.
Sounds good to me.
Right?
As long as it happens. They're calling it.
Did you guys shoot some, I don't know, did you shoot the fireworks out of COVID down there in Florida?
No, we did not. So
too bad.
There's that.
Too bad.
You know what's funny is I really haven't got into fireworks since I've been down here. Not many people know. It's not like I'm hiding anything, but so my uncle actually works. My uncle and aunt work for Zambelli. My uncle shoots off fireworks. So like I've grown up, I've had fireworks all my life, Ryan.
I mean, we grew up in Newcastle. Didn't
Well, of course, there you go. The fireworks capital of the world.
That's right.
So like I said, I mean, I've seen fireworks. I've been around fireworks. My uncle would honestly give us some really legit stuff, like super legit, Ryan. So, and I'm not saying like, oh, you know, these crap fireworks, but it's funny. Like I moved down to Florida, right? What I'm getting at is I'm cheap. People know I'm cheap. I was gifted fireworks all my life. I'm not going to go pay for these.
Gifted.
Now I'll say it, these crap fireworks that cost like, you know, $100 and you get like 3 sparklers.
I was going to say Florida. What's their firework game like? It can't be as good as up here.
Well, I mean, it's actually legal, so I'll put it that way. Florida. Fireworks are still illegal technically in Pennsylvania, right? Or no?
Yeah, I think. I don't. I mean, that's what they always were growing up. You had to go to like Ohio to buy something good, which we were close to Ohio, obviously.
Right.
So it wasn't a big deal. I mean, I still remember on New Year's Eve, DiNardo, driving to Boardman to get alcohol.
Yes.
Because like Pennsylvania, you had to go to like a distributor, and if they weren't open, you were screwed.
God forbid it was a Sunday.
Right. I think that's what it was. New Year's Eve had fallen on a Sunday, and there was like one spirit store open in the county, and it like the hours are like 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So if you didn't get it in those hours, you were screwed. So I just remember going to Ohio to pick up some booze. But yeah, that fireworks was always that way too. I think Pennsylvania has changed some of their like firework laws, but I don't know. I haven't kept up with it. I'm not too much on the firework train as well as you. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, either way, I've always enjoyed fireworks. I'm not one of those people that hate them, but I'll just also say that, as you've mentioned, you know, growing up in Newcastle, even like just the Western Pennsylvania area, fireworks up there are much more spectacular than here in Jacksonville, Florida. So, and what they did this year for us, I'm not sure how they did up there, but they actually spread them out. They had like 6 separate smaller-ish shows, so that way people can social distance around the town and watch fireworks. But yeah, like I said, they weren't spectacular to begin with. So now you divide that into 6. It's really not much to ponder at.
Yeah, well, Newcastle did, like Pearson Park had their fireworks last night.
Right.
And then I think Pittsburgh had, I don't know if it was last night or a couple nights ago, but Pittsburgh did something. But like, you know, just random people shooting off ones all over, you know, Newcastle. We got to see them we're kind of up on a bit of a hill, so we got to see a bunch from all over the place, but so it was cool, but whatever.
Cool.
I just remember, speaking of Zambellis and being from Newcastle, if you remember, and I don't know which Zambelli, I don't know if it was George, it was like the main older Zambelli had passed away. This probably was, I mean, we were probably still in high school. And I remember they did his funeral, and like, yeah, it was just like middle of the day, and you thought like bombs were going off. You're like, what is happening? It was like middle of the day. Here it was like his funeral. They were shooting off a bunch of fireworks. And then, do you remember when the warehouse blew up?
Yes.
In Neshannock?
I think that was like our junior year or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, literally shook my house.
Same.
Who, we're across we're across Newcastle from Neshannock, probably like 20 miles, 15, 20 miles. It I thought it was an earthquake. It shook our house.
Yes.
Just a big Zambelli warehouse went up.
Same here. It's funny, it's like as small as that was, like it's not a monumental moment, right? But that was like one of the moments where you'll always remember where you were.
That was funny. I had just gotten out of the bathroom, and I remember I was walking down the hallway, and the whole house was shaking. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah. So I was actually in my bedroom. The computer was actually in my bedroom. I was like, think about the computer. I was actually logged on.
Donardo was
AOL.
rich, folks. He had a computer
I had my
back in the
free
day.
150 hours. So no, but I was surfing the internet, and it was definitely summer. And I remember all the windows in the house were open. So I actually even felt it a bit. So
Donardo got slammed
crazy.
back against the wall.
Yeah.
Did you see this? Speaking of that, did you see the San Diego clip of the fireworks show last night?
I did. That's old though, right?
Is it?
I'm pretty sure that's old. It's just been rehashed because it's the 4th of July.
Oh, well, that makes sense. But how do you shoot them all off at once? How do you make that mistake?
What a show.
My God. Hey, we're going to keep it 30 seconds today, folks.
There you go. Get the hell out of
But
here.
it's going to be,
Get off my lawn.
It's going to be a hell of a spectacular coming up.
Right.
So anyway, speaking of which, fans or no fans, do we know if the Pirates are having Zambelli firework night?
That's a good question. I would imagine not. Why are you going to spend the money? So I assume definitely
point.
not.
Spend money.
But that would be kind of funny. No fans in the stadium, just fireworks randomly going off. Most people having no idea why.
I mean, the people around town would see them, but yeah, that's about it.
Just a bunch of people gathered around PNC Park.
I always, it was when I used to live on Mount Washington, or even when I was on the north side, you would hear, when somebody hit a home run, the Pirates would shoot off the firework.
Of course.
And you would be watching the game, and there was that 2-second delay, Donardo, where you'd hear the firework happening, and you're like, oh, he's going to hit a home run. And then bang, then you watched it. And it's it only took me a couple times to realize that that's what that was. And then you started listening for it. So it was kind of cool.
Nice.
But anyway, so let's get into it. Spring training 2.0 has started.
Summer camp,
though
as they're kind of
it's not on TV. It's not on TV, though. I don't know why. I would love to watch these guys taking simulated batting practice or working out or running a sprint. That'd be fantastic. Why is this not on TV?
They are totally missing out. I mean, you're talking about TV. We mentioned that last week as well. I mean, just having just the workouts on TV, people would tune in. You will get ratings. But if you're not doing that, Ryan, I mean, again, back to my theory, just put a camera, right? Just put an iPhone in center field, stream it on Twitch, Periscope, whatever. How is nothing being streamed right now? I will watch.
Jimmy T's got to get
all
on
of
that.
this.
Jimmy T's Twitter would be blowing up. Just put an iPhone out there,
Right?
And just hit play. Just let it record.
I'm telling you, we
or
need
just go
this.
on to Facebook Live.
I know
and
it's just workouts, but I want to see them working out. I want to see. I guess you technically saw it, right? You get that 30-second clip the Pirates put out of Polanco hitting one in Allegheny. But I want to see it live. I want to be watching, going, oh, there's Polanco taking BP, right? There's Josh Bell taking BP. There's Trevor Williams on the mound pitching a simulated game, calling his own strikes.
And the media isn't even allowed. So
Right.
we're getting reports from them, but they're not there. And then I saw the one. I think it was the Pirates. The Pirates had to have tweeted it out, or maybe one of the players. But Heredia was watching Stallings take batting
Yes.
practice. Did you see
Yes.
that? Heredia seems fun.
Yeah, he does.
Just watching that. So that was cool.
And then Stallings hit one out. Just barely.
Yeah,
They're
he's
all
like,
watching
Is that it? Is that it? He's like, no, it's a sac fly. So yeah, that was cool. But yeah, I mean, as far as, so we'll get into it here. So, spring training started this past week, at PNC Park. They tested, all across baseball, they tested every player, coach with, for COVID. So they did 3,185 samples or tests that they did. There was 38 players and coaches that tested positive. which is so it's a 1.2%, Donardo, which is actually lower than NBA and MLS when they did their test.
Right.
So I was kind of surprised at that number. I thought we'd have more, just kind of general. There's a lot of people all over the place. So I thought there'd be a lot more than that. As well as we're going to get into who's opting out. I thought there'd be more opt-outs too.
I guess I'm in agreement. That's a very low percentage. Like you mentioned, just 1%. I think the NBA and MLS were the same, but I remember the NBA being like a 5%.
5%.
So, it kind of makes you wonder. Now, obviously, there's a lot more people involved in baseball. Like you said, there's 3,000 and plus tests, as you mentioned. I forget the exact number.
Yeah, 3185.
3185. Obviously, a lot smaller than the NBA, right? But like also, when you kind of think about it, if I'm going to get in a basketball shape, I mean, you saw J.R. Smith as he got before, he got signed to the Lakers and such, and he was shooting in the gym. You got to have people around you, Ryan. And I feel like you can social distance in baseball a lot easier while also practicing than you can in basketball. So maybe that has something to do with it. So, I mean, if you had it and we went out as a group and practice, chances are it's going to spread. But if you had it, we play baseball, it might be a lower amount because we're still 60 feet away from each other,
Right. Like, that's the thing I was going to say last week. Like, if you needed to create a sport for social distancing, isn't that already baseball?
Basically.
Like, everybody's already spread out as it is. Those outfielders, you could drive like, a whole NASCAR race in between them. Like,
right.
There's a lot of space out there. And like you said, 60 feet, 60 inches. So yeah, everybody's already spread out. Now, we've heard from, the umpire, there's going to be nobody's supposed to argue with the umpires this year, which, okay, I'll believe that when I see it. Players aren't there's no spitting allowed. And I think Derek Holland was talking about it today, like him just saying, he's like, me just trying to not lick my fingers in between a pitch is going to be hard, or like touching his face and things like that.
Sure.
So there's going to be things like that are going to be adjustments for players that are going to be just kind of like second nature. I mean, how many times, the batter sits up there and he's fixing his gloves and he's spitting, fixing the hat, doing this, doing that. It's like there's all those ticks and just kind of mechanics that they go through. So it'll be interesting to see, what players do that and don't.
Right. And I think the big thing too, like the words you literally said, the ticks, I think it, like you said, like it's second nature. I mean, you're up there.
It is.
You just do it. You just lick your fingers. You're a pitcher. You just do it. It's a habit that you've been doing for probably 30 some years. Probably less than 30, but still, you get the
right.
point. It's not so much that you're just like, oh, I want to spit. I'm a macho man, or whatever. Like you just do it. You've been doing this all the time. That's how you prepare to pitch. That's how you prepare with the batter box. This is what you do. And so that's why I am kind of curious, like you mentioned, how they're truly going to patrol that, because it's not like you're intentionally out there like just spitting sunflower seeds, So that is going to be interesting. What you said about the fights, I found that kind of humorous, because it's not like fighting was allowed in baseball. It's been like, oh, we're going to ban fighting. Well, it wasn't allowed before. Like if you fought before,
right.
You got kicked out. So like, what's changed now theoretically? Like now, oh, we really don't want you to fight now, guys. We really don't want you to fight. So yeah, I'm interested in what that truly means. I mean, if it's just like, that's it. Like as soon as you see things happen, like, and what do you do? Like, what are you going to break it up then? You get a non-social distance to break it up. So
you're asking for the players to kind of have a cooler heads prevail, but we all know how that goes.
Right.
So we'll see.
Is that the reason Yasiel Puig is not signed? They're just so worried that he's going to start a fight.
Maybe the whole team will have COVID. Yeah. But yeah, and that's the thing. Like the umpire, like arguing with umpires has been reduced now that we've had replay. There's just less opportunities to argue. Now, you can argue balls and strikes, or you could just argue, that manager doesn't like that umpire or something, but there's still arguments that come about. There's still, guys getting into the umpire's face, but you didn't, so we'll see about that. But yeah, I was just laughing at that. What's the other thing too? The players have to basically walk back. Like if they're on second base, the inning ends, they can't have a bat boy run out and bring their glove. Like they gotta go walk their batting helmet to the dugout. They gotta go get their own gloves. So I think we saw Dunlap pitching a fit about that, which like imagine dying on that hill. But it's Colin Dunlap. But yeah, I mean that's not a huge thing. It's just players are gonna have to do some extra stuff. They're gonna have to do some little just kind of go out of the way to keep a little safe and less interaction.
Sure.
But I mean, I think, but anyway, as far as the overall test, the 1.2% of positive players and like everybody that tested positive now, I mean, I don't want to, nobody's been hospitalized. No one that has it in MLB has been hospitalized or anything. Plus it's July, 5th. There's hopefully these guys quarantine. They test negative and they're ready to go by opening day.
Right. And I mean, they're constantly getting tested as well.
That.
So it's not like they got tested today and then we're going to find in 2 weeks that like more people got it, So, I mean, they're on top of it. That's something that the public doesn't have. They don't have that ability. They're not afforded that. Like, I can't get tested. Well, I could theoretically, but like you can't, Right. Everyone can't go get tested every day to make sure everyone's being quarantined that has it. So that is something that's being done in sports. That's why, I am a bit optimistic about sports happening because they are afforded that opportunity to get tested every single day. So if I didn't have it yesterday and I do today, I'm done. I'm quarantined. And hopefully we've stopped it right there.
Yeah. And they got the best, available care. Not that, we know how to treat it and everything, but yeah, there's available care to them and some of the best in the world. So, but when I saw those numbers, it was more optimistic towards, baseball. This could actually happen. Like this could start. Because, I mean, we saw when football teams were getting together for, like, spring practices, like, half the LSU football team had it.
Right.
And you're like, oh, no, like, this is going to be brutal. But, like I said, 38 players, a coach, it's basically one per team, a player/coach. It's been recent. We found out there was 2 Pirate players that tested positive. Socrates Brito and Blake, is it Cedarland?
Cedarland, yep.
Yeah. So those are the 2, which... Like I said, hopefully by that point they're healthy, they're negative, but I don't really think they were necessarily on the roster. But then again, 30-man roster to start, who knows? They might, Cedarland could be. So anyway, so those were the 2 Pirates that came out. You're seeing a couple of names get like Freddie Freeman. A lot of these teams aren't releasing it, but some of them are coming out. But yeah, so anyway, so I was optimistic, encouraged, I guess, by seeing those numbers. Was not as high as I thought. And as far as opting out, I thought, Donardo, we'd see, now we still have some time before opening day, but I thought we'd see a lot more players opt out. But as of right now, it's only National Leaguers. So Felix Hernandez of the Braves, Tyson Ross of the Giants, David Price of the Dodgers. Just imagine if Mookie Betts opted out.
That would be great.
Ian Desmond of the Rockies, Joe Ross of the Nationals, Ryan Zimmerman of the Nationals, and then Mike Leake as well, which he was the first.
Yep.
So, yeah, there you go. So, we've heard from guys that have had pregnant wives at home, Mike Trout, Bryce Harper, which
Zach Wheeler.
Imagine that two of the best players in the game, like wives are both pregnant. But Trout pretty much said he's playing it by ear. We've heard that from who was the other one you said
Wheeler.
was
Zach Wheeler.
Oh. Zach Wheeler was another one. He's kind of playing it by ear and seeing how it goes. So, yeah, I mean, it really depends. Look, I mean, as far as opting out, like I said, no Pirates have opted out, which Shelton kind of said early on. He didn't think they would have anybody opting out. I don't hold anything against any of these players that are opting out.
I mean, not at all.
You got to do what you got to do. And especially if you have a pregnant wife or somebody at home that you don't want to bring it home and stuff, or kids, I get it.
Yeah. And we've said this time and time again. It's not, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, they're afforded that opportunity and they're afforded that lifestyle to do so. They've, for the most part, made a pretty penny. They've made a lot more than I have probably my entire career last season, So with that being said, they can do so. They're getting a prorated salary of this prorated year, so it's not truly like you're thinking about. It's not that they're losing a whole lot of salary. They've already lost most of it. So if I'm Mike Trout and I say I don't want to play this year because even if it's a slim chance I'm going to get it, I don't need to even take that chance. I'm good. Let my wife, have her baby. Let me think about them. That's it. So yeah, I have no issues with that. But I'm definitely with you. I was definitely surprised that there was a lot less people that tested negative for it, which may be very optimistic. But yeah, I think I was waiting for more people to come out. So the fact that like you named that handful, I didn't even realize you said it before the show. I found it kind of awkward and weird that none of the AL teams have anybody, but just the NL. So it's looking even good. Like it's even look better for the Pirates right now, Ryan.
Yeah, that's really bizarre. It's really bizarre. I'm not, I don't know what that means or anything, but yeah,
It means the World
as far
Series
as that,
champions.
the Pirates odds are just going up increasingly. Every opt out by opt out, it's going up. So yeah, and I mean already in a 60 game season, you're going to see like as soon as like say the Pirates had a 5% chance to win the World Series, Donardo. As soon as the season went to 60 games, like their odds went up just because more random crap can happen.
Like every team's odds went up, it seemed like, except for the Orioles. Like they just stayed the same. It was like a 0 to then 0.
Orioles. Yeah, and the Pirates, so that we got 60 games, the Pirates over-under right now on FanDuel is 25.5, Donardo.
Ooh.
So there you go.
Which I like that.
So not, I mean, look, the Phillies are at 31.5. It just crazy stuff can happen in a 60 game
That's
season.
it. 6 games. Like think about that. But that's so meaningful because it's just 60 games this year.
I thought you said 6. I was like, what? It's a little more than 6. But yeah. And let's see their World Series odds here. If this thing would load, they are at, just plus 16,000. That's all.
Sounds good. I'm putting 16,000 on it.
Only the Orioles, Tigers, Royals, Marlins, Giants, Mariners have higher odds. Pirates are all them and the Rockies both are 16,000.
All that Matt Kemp signing. That's
Nice.
skyrocketed the Rockies' odds there. Actually,
There
I
you
think
go.
what happened was when Eaton Desmond opted out. That's when the Rockies. That's when the odds went better.
It plummeted. No, it went up. Yeah, it didn't plummet. It went up. So yeah, like I said, we'll see. We'll see who the opt-outs still come. I know Trout said he's playing it by ear. I guess kind of see what the landscape looks like towards the end of July, as far as the pandemic. And then, like I said, I mean, NBA, you said 5% tested positive, but NBA is essentially going to be in a bubble in Orlando.
Yeah.
Like MLB doesn't have that luxury. Like MLB, they're traveling. As it was just announced, the Pirates, the schedule still really isn't out. We've had a couple of leaks. But it looks like Pirates at Cardinals on July 24th for your opening day 2.0.
And supposedly, so tomorrow is, from my understanding, when the schedule is going to be released. So that'll be cool.
Okay.
But yes,
Here's what it's going to be. Cardinals, Reds, Cubs, Brewers. Cardinals, Cubs, Reds, Brewers. Cardinals, Cubs. Oh, Tigers.
AL week.
Royals.
It's like Shark Week.
Yeah.
AL
Back to the
week.
Cardinals, Cubs. It's just like you're playing the same teams over and over again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that'll
true
be
that. And like you said, I'll mention it because you mentioned how they might do like series of 5s or 4s. So that schedule
Right.
coming out is going to be very interesting to find out what the season is going to look like. Because I don't know. I could see myself getting kind of bored of 5 games against the Cubs in a row,
I could see. I'm not going to get bored by any.
Well,
of it
I
at this
mean,
point.
yeah. Good,
With
good
the way
point,
we're
good
going,
point.
we're going to be glued to the TV watching for that for that opening day schedule.
Remember all those games they played like Manatee Community College and in Bradenton? Like I'd be dying to watch those games on TV right now.
Until they lost to him, and then they're like, "We're not playing that team anymore."
Right? They got
We'll play.
it was
We'll play a
brutal
split
too that
squad.
one time they lost. It wasn't like 16-2 or something.
It was something I don't know,
Yeah.
but yeah, they were like that game.
I would die to see that. I would die to see the Pirates lose 16-2 to Manatee Community College.
There you go.
I'd watch it all the way to the end.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Right.
No. So that's that. Like I said, hasn't been too much. I mean, I guess not too much news, Pirate news, as far as like player wise coming out of camp here with no media. It's a little difficult. Chad Kuhl is apparently filthy.
Yes. I was going to
Which we
say
knew.
there is some news, Ryan. Jacob Stallings had to break it to us. The man is filthy.
He's filthy.
2020, bring it on. So, I mean, listen,
I love it.
you and I'm not going to say the hype train. We haven't been full Adam Frazier on him, but you and I have definitely liked, right? Chad Kuhl. We felt there's a little more to him as well. We've been excited this year. I was all on board. I was actually pissed off that the fans voted for Chad Kuhl to be in the bullpen for our fake season, Ryan. For the misplaced season, I was pissed off
I
that
know,
Chad Kuhl
I
wasn't in
know.
the rotation. So that's how, that's where I'm at right now. So it's hearing about Chad Kuhl, first off, being healthy, right? We're hearing that heading into spring training 1.0. But I'm intrigued. What's changed? Because it's not so much that Jacob Stallings said like he just looks filthy, like this is a whole new Chad Cole. He compared it to the spring training in March. Like he's literally saying he looks different from March. Did he get with Marin, the pitching coach, a little more? Was he working with him and changed some things in his time when he was throwing to his wife Amanda? I don't know.
I was gonna say he's married now, so that's what's changed.
That's what
know.
intrigued me too. Is like how he said like he looks filthier than March.
As far as, I mean, he's got to be in the rotation at this point with the Archer injury, definitely, right?
I would assume, and also I think two things work in his favor: the Archer injury and the 60 games. Right. I mean, you're not relying him to pitch 150 plus innings this year or something.
Yeah.
Like with 60 games, you're not going to get that wear and tear. So you can put him in the rotation and probably feel comfortable heading into 2021.
Because that's the thing. Even if you're putting Brault in the rotation, which was probably a question mark before the Archer injury, Brault's probably in. You still need that fifth guy. So it's either Chad Kuhl or Stratton.
Well, Derek Holland.
So it's. Yeah, Holland's there.
And Shelton came out today also and said he views Holland as a starter. Just to put it out there. So I don't know, man. Like
I hope Kuhl was in the rotation.
Chad. It could be Brault who's the odd man out potentially.
Could be.
I mean, I think it's clear who has the most upside is Chad Kuhl. If you're comparing to Brault and Derek Holland.
Yeah, because I mean, in 60 games, I mean, how much? I mean, this year will be interesting, and we probably a more topic for the next couple of weeks. But as far as the strategy, I mean, guys in the bullpen in 60 games, you're not getting too much work in. So, do you lean on certain guys more often in a 60-game season because there is so many games, only so many games? You don't really got to save guys for September because September is going to be like tomorrow,
right?
So it's like, are you going to see maybe you don't have to stretch the starting rotation out as much. Maybe you only keep these guys, DiNardo, 5 innings, couple times through the rotation or through the lineup.
You're going
and
somewhere.
Then go to your bullpen and lean on that bullpen a little more.
This is like, so you and I talked a little bit off air, about this as well. I'm very intrigued to find out how managers are going to manage this season, be it 60 games, right? 2 things. And actually, this kind of affects our over and unders as well, as we'll get to. But, 2 things. For one, because it's only 60 games, everything matters. But also, you had this really, really shortened spring training. So a lot of people's timing, just everything, it's kind of rushed, right? And you're not really facing, it's not games you're having. You're just having workouts. It's a camp. So I'm wondering, are people going to be eased into it more than they normally would? But how far do you get eased in it? Because then half the season's gone, right? But also with the fact that it's only 60 games, are people going to be worked more? And now with this expanded roster, especially for the first month, right? 2 weeks 30, then 2 more weeks, 28.
Then 26.
Like you're saying, Ryan. I mean, if Chad Kuhl is in the rotation, and you know what, just ain't feeling it today, I might be more comfortable taking him out at 3 innings because I don't need a 162 game season, length and rest these guys and stuff. I got all these extra bullpen pitchers in my system right now. Chad Kuhl is not feeling it. 3 innings, get him out of there. Put someone in because, like you said, the bullpen could potentially have rest. So yeah, it's going to be really weird how people do it, but I could definitely see what you're saying. Or maybe, as you've liked to say, maybe it's 4 innings of Chad Kuhl and 4 innings of Stephen Brault.
Now we're talking.
I don't think that's happening, but I know you've liked that idea for some time now, even before this crazy season.
Do you need it? Do you need an actual official 5th starter?
There you go.
Maybe it is just a Chad Kuhl, Brault 4 innings and then go to the other guy.
Right.
An opener follower situation. So, yeah, I mean, hey, I'm all for getting weird, doing things, creative out of the box, especially in a season like this. I mean, you got to, if you have an idea, try it because this is now the time to do it. I'm also on that same wavelength. I'm worried about the pitchers' injuries because, you saw a lot of guys were getting ramped up in March. They were pitching games, trying to get ramped up for the season. And then all of a sudden we came to a complete halt. And now here we are in July trying to get ramped up again. Now, I'm sure guys were throwing it home and things like that, trying to get on some kind of pattern in case the season, was a go.
Right.
And it was, but did everybody stick to that? Who knows? So
I mean, Sheldon did come out and say
we'll
that he
see.
felt comfortable that everyone is ready for 5 innings right now before spring.
Right.
So yeah, I mean that brings me some optimism as well.
It's just one of those you go full go during games, even by spring training, maybe not. But then when you're stopping and you're just kind of throwing a side or a bullpen at home, you're probably not all in, and then now you're ramping back up. And once the game starts, I'm interested to see once like the season starts if we start seeing some injuries, and not just the Pirates, around baseball, but yeah, we'll see about that. So yeah, Donardo, we got the plank today.
We do
A very abbreviated version of the plank, as these are not easy to come up with.
So we've basically been doing this every season, I think, except for the first one, obviously. But I think we've done it every season since. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of easy to do because you're used to numbers. Like if a guy has a 40 home run season, you're like, wow, right? If a guy has a 200 hit season, you're like, wow. Well, what's 60 games? We've never seen this before. Like, what are the landmarks that are to happen this season? If we see 15 home runs, do we say, wow?
I know.
And it's going to be weird just seeing 15 home runs, but it's only 60 games. And because it's 60 games, things don't like have a chance to normalize. So
I don't
this
know.
Start, if you have a hot start, we've talked about with teams, but players now as well with these actual individual numbers, right? These over and unders. A player starts slow, that can hinder his whole entire season. Or if he's hot,
is. And it was difficult coming up with these because, especially for the counting statistics, which 3 of them I stayed with like slugging percentage or on base percentage, where no matter what, that's there. But basically, yeah, these. Like, it's tough because you I have to come up to make an over-under number. I got to come up to where I think what it's going to be. And then I got to put it in a spot where I think you're going to go somewhere around there. So it's difficult for you to pick over-under. So it's like we got to come up with those numbers ourselves to figure out where to set these numbers. So very difficult. And I'm sure, for each of us picking these, but that, you come up, basically how it works is, Donardo, we each make 5 over-unders for Pirate players for the season. Last year, like we usually do like Adam Frazier on base percentage at 345 or something,
right,
and you go over or under. So Donardo does 5 for me, and I pick over under. I do 5 for him, and we, track him throughout the season. And then whoever wins at the end of the season wins a beer at spring training. There wasn't even spring training last year, so Donardo still owes me that beer. Because Donardo, I smoked you last year.
We won't talk about that.
I won 2 years ago, and then last year was just a wrap.
I don't think you got the memo, Ryan, but I opted out of the 2019 plank season, so those numbers did not count.
So Donardo, this is you got a lot to come back on. This is your bounce back year here.
Yeah, sure it is.
So are you ready to get into some?
Yeah, of course I'm ready. Who wants to start?
Well, I won last year, so let me start.
Okay.
So my first one. Okay, here we go. I don't know how I want to present these to you. These are so difficult. I was like changing these at the last minute. All right, so we're gonna stick with. All right, we'll stick with a counting one here. All right, let's go. So, Kevin Newman.
Oh boy.
Hello, Newman. Kevin Newman had a very nice season last year, rookie season. A lot of talk about what he's going to do this year. A lot of regression in those projection numbers. So Kevin Newman, the over-under that I present to you is WOBA. Kevin Newman's WOBA.
Oh boy.
319 and a half.
Wow, that's a good number. That's a good number.
It is a good number, but let me present it here while you're thinking. So his WOBA last year, so his slash line overall was 308, 353, 446.
Right.
His WOBA was 339, and he had 110 WRC plus. Obviously, the projection systems are definitely calling for regression. So here's his projected WOBAs through all the, Zip, Steamer, depth charts, ATC. Here's his WOBA: 300, 304, 311, 308, 312, 304. And for his career, because he had a terrible time in 2018 when he came up in that short time, he's at a 320 WOBA. So I'm giving you under that. I'm giving you 319.
Yeah.
But it's above his projections.
Yeah. I mean, I look at this. So, like you said, last year was 339. He had a very good season, but you would expect regression to the mean, right? Here's the thing, too. Like, when you look at his minor league numbers, they're kind of all over the place, depending.
Right.
So, but to me, okay, so what I think of Newman, this shouldn't be too hard.
It's kind of like good year, bad
what
year,
I think of
good
Newman,
year, bad year.
319 actually isn't terrible, depending, especially like for him, what you kind of would expect. I am going to take the under.
Wow,
I feel pretty. I'm not gonna say pretty confident because that's a really safe space. It's kind of in the middle. It's like, do you believe last year or not? And even if you don't, it's still 319 is not terrible. I mean, no, it's not good. But I mean, like, based on Kevin Newman, right? Like 319, if he did that again for this upcoming season, I could see that and that'd be okay. It's a solid season he had. But also the 60 game thing, Ryan. Like, that's what throws everything off.
I know.
You know?
You don't know.
Like, if he just came out here for 2 weeks and batted at 400, I'm like, well, I'm done. I'm toast. You know?
Pretty much.
Because of these 2 weeks. So I am going to take the under, though.
All right. Yeah, it's tough because, like you said, the projections all have him under that. And how about his WRC plus? So he had 110 last year. They have him at 84, 87, 91, 89, 92, and 87.
Yeah.
So they're calling for the major regression, which wouldn't be shocking. But again, like you said, 60-game season. Well, Donardo, he has a good 2-3 weeks. You're sunk.
Right.
Pretty much. So it's crazy. And also, let me point this out. Obviously, these are the players start the season and they're qualified once they have, if any of these guys test positive for COVID or opt out, we're gonna either get another player.
No. They go on the IL just like anybody else and they return.
Well, I'm saying before the season. Like, let's say they don't play.
My bad. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Let's say they opt out or they get COVID or get an injury before.
We'll do a replacement.
And they're out. Yeah, we'll do a replacement. Now, we're not having any kind of plate appearance minimum if they make the season. So let's say the season starts, Newman goes 3 for 4, breaks his leg, Donardo lost. Right? So like that, we're not doing a plate appearance thing. I mean,
he might go 3 for 4 and have it under. I don't know.
Well, good.
Yeah,
but you have to start the season. Once you have at bats, then you're in. So okay. So you're under for that one. All right.
Yes. All right, let's get it. Let's start off with a bang, Ryan. He can hit. Our boy Adam Frazier.
You always give me that Adam Frazier.
I feel like we always have like people that we definitely do. One of mine is no longer with the team. He's in jail, so that's out. But Adam Frazier also is one I present to you every year. Adam Frazier, he likes to hit, Ryan. He can hit, Ryan. This game, he only has 60 chances, 60 games of hitting. So my over and under to you, in 60 games, will Adam Frazier have over and under 48.5 hits? Right?
This is so jacked up. All right.
Because here's, I guess, just to present this to you too, right? Something I've been curious and thinking about also, because again, 60 games. How many games are these players going to play in those 60? Like, because it's only 60, are these managers like going to go balls to the wall? Like, listen, Adam Frazier, you can play 60 games. Or are they going to be like, all right, let's take some days off here still, So it's like, of that 60, how many is he even going to truly play?
Yeah, I mean, you only got, because you have 60 players, essentially available to you throughout this season. All right, so here's
and what if he gets COVID and he's on that IL?
Right, or just, injured period.
There's like a week or two of your season.
So last year, all right, what'd you set this at?
48.5.
48.5 hits. Okay, so last year, Frazier had 154 hits. Now, the 60-game season at a 162, these players are essentially playing 37% of a normal season. Mm-hmm. That's what we're getting. So I'm going to take 37% of 154, and that's 56 hits. So that's over, but not by much.
Nope.
It's close. And Frazier was good last year, but he also, his OPS was like right at league average.
And think about, like I said, this is what's so great about the season. That's why these counting stats are just so off, because
they are.
What if you had a bum hamstring last year, right? Set out for a week. What's 6 games out of 162? But this year, you get a bum hamstring, you sit out a week, Ryan. That's 6 games out of 60. That's 10% now of your season gone. So
What
now
IL
that
stint
55 hits, whatever you
screws
said,
you.
could easily be 48.5 just because of that.
You always get me on Adam Frazier. I always go over. You'll do like on base percentage or something. I go over and I always lose. I think I got to roll with Frazier. I coming off from last year to this year, I thought, I think he was going to have a better season. Now it's obviously only 60 games. I have to bank that he's staying healthy, but 48 and a half hits is doable.
And what if he has a slow start again, Ryan?
But
he's
we're
already in the middle of the season. So.
Right. It's already July, so what the heck? I'll go over because it's Adam Frazier, and
you got
I'm
to
a sucker for Adam Frazier, and he can
do
hit.
it for the brand.
Damn it. He can hit. Yeah, it's right, for the brand. All right, so I already don't like that one, but it's definitely doable.
I don't like any of
doable.
these. I'm not going to be confident in anything I ever say. You can give me an over and under of 1 game played for Josh Bell. I'd be like, oh boy. I don't know. What do I do?
Stay tuned because that's coming
there
up.
You go.
No, well, not the Bell. Well, we are doing Bell for the tiebreaker,
as
but
always.
Your 1 game may be coming up or something towards that. All right. Next, we are going to the pitching side of things. Mitch Keller.
Ooh.
Lot said about Mitch Keller here. Came into last season, rookie season, had 48 innings, terrible ERA, lot better FIP, which is one of the most wide gaps in his ERA to FIP. But we are going to go to his K percentage, Donardo. His strikeout percentage is, I'm going to set it I'm going to set it for you over under at 29.0 and a half.
Oh.
So, last year he was at 28.6. Yep. Hopefully we're expecting better from him. He had good strikeout. That was pretty good last year. I think it was 12 per 9.
Well, because he had to face 38 batters per inning. So,
right. So about 28.9, but I'm going to throw you at 29.0. So anything over that, 29.1 would be over, and 28.9 would be under. So
okay.
Where are you at with Mitch Keller?
That's a very nice number as well. Even last year in the majors, 28.6. Last year in AAA, 28.2. So it was close. But he did find 60
game season. You're looking at about 12 starts if everybody goes every 5th day.
Right. So here's actually my thing on this. And I do feel very optimistic until the season starts and I found out that I lose. We have a new pitching coach. I don't think we're going to find Mitch Keller throw 97 fastballs in a start.
God, I hope not.
And we've seen how nasty, maybe not as nasty as Chad Kuhl is these days, but we've seen how nasty Mitch Keller can be. So, assuming maybe he throws a little more of those nasty pitches, maybe just 1.4% of the time, Ryan, that strikeout rate can climb to about the 30% that I want to see. And that's why I am, Ryan, going to take the over.
All right. He's going over on Keller. I like it. Like I said, I don't know if the shortened season helps or hurts that. It just depends on probably a handful of starts. If he has a bad start, you're going to be in trouble. If he has a good start, you're probably okay.
And think about this just in total as well, which could affect Frazier's hit total, right? Like, I wonder if the beginning of the season is really going to favor a lot of these pitchers, because that's what we're getting at. Like with summer camp, I should say, there really isn't a whole lot of games going on. So is the timing truly going to be there for the hitters? Like, I'm wondering.
Yeah, but Frazier, dude, the guy could just jump out of bed and hit.
Well, yeah,
he's ready.
Frazier, I guess. Yeah, you can't do that. But, I feel like the pitchers have an advantage. They could be farther ahead than what the batters are come July 24th. So maybe this does help Mitch Keller a bit there. Right? Maybe his first game, he goes 7 innings with 14 strikeouts. And then I'm good.
Yeah, Keller's now his strikeout percentage throughout the minors, kind of, he had a couple years 30, 31, but like the last couple years 24, 28.2. So he's around that number. So
Mitch to contact.
I think over is the safe bet. And like you said, with the new pitching coach, hopefully he's taking a step forward. Definitely with that.
They're no longer playing the game within the game, Ryan. So I have a feeling that strikeout rate might increase.
And I'll tell you what, by the way it was going on the NS9 misplaced season, Keller was killing it.
Yes, he was. NL Rookie of the Month, I believe, in April.
Yep.
So that's what I like to see. All right, my turn.
All right, so I got it down. Hit me with the your next one.
All right, let's do it. No more Rookie of the Year here in Reynolds, but let's go with our boy Bryan Reynolds. Now, kind of like with Kevin Newman, right? I think we all can potentially expect some regression. Is that fair to say? Maybe not to the degree. Like, I believe in Bryan Reynolds' abilities more than I believe in Kevin Newman's abilities. But how much of the abilities that you saw last year do you believe in? Because this guy just killed it from the day he set foot in PNC Park. Last year, he batted .314, on base .377, right? Way to run creative plus 131. The guy just flat out hit. The guy's never in his career batted under 300. And when you look at his minor league seasons, 312, 317, 312, 302, 367, albeit 57 plate appearances last year in AAA. And then he came to the majors, or as I mentioned, 314. Never has he seen twos in his life. So I ask you, Ryan, in his sophomore year, with just 60 games, over and under Bryan Reynolds, 2.999 batting average. Does he see 300 this year?
You go with a batting average stat. All right, so 2.999?
2.999.
All right, so 299 is an under. Well, yeah, but I'm saying if he hits 299, it's under. So yeah, 314. You got to expect the regression.
I mean, a 387 baby, but very high baby.
He was having
whole minor league career.
He was having a pretty good spring, Donardo. A couple of home runs. He had a 632 slugging percentage.
Oh, that slugging percentage doesn't count. Doesn't matter now, Ryan.
I know, but
what's that batting average though?
I can't believe you went batting average.
Come on, man. It's 60
I'm
games.
trying to look up his projections here because I want to see, which I'm guessing. I want to see how much regression
has him at 265.
Yeah, there's a lot of
regression with a lot of the projection models, Ryan.
278, 278,
so if you're going just on progressions,
277, 288, 265. Not too much is regression. But yeah, like you said, he hit 300 his whole career. And high BABIP.
His lowest BABIP ever, as it mentioned, like the 300. He's never always batted over 300. His lowest BABIP ever was 362. That's ridiculous. Yep. But again, that's what he does. Like, we understand BABIP is a lot of luck, but there can be skill involved in that. Sterling Marte had a high BABIP as well. Usually the faster guys do. Right. But it's not like Bryan Reynolds is some burner out there either.
See, here's the thing. If it was a 162 game season, I'd go under.
But it's only 60.
Because right. Like it's almost like blackjack. Like the more you sit at a blackjack table, the longer you sit at a table, the quicker and better odds you're going to give your money back. Like the longer the season goes on, somebody's hot start, somebody's, is hitting near 350 or something, the more that's going to come back down to earth.
I mean, we've seen that in Josh Bell every single year.
Right. But a 60-game season, what 60 games are you going to get? So yeah, you can't even really look at these projections because they just don't add up.
Exactly.
I'm going over, DiNardo.
Oh, the over.
I'm going over.
I like it.
I talked myself into it. Yeah, because if it was a 162 game season with these projections, I mean, I'd like them to hit 290, and that'd be a good season.
Right.
I mean, no, it's batting average. Who cares? We want to see home runs and doubles and that stuff and on base percentage. But I think Reynolds, his track record, he was having a nice spring. The dude just kept hitting. Every time you'd think last year he'd tail off, he just kept hitting. So
Went to the school of Adam Frazier.
That's right. So I'm going to bank on the hot start, the hot 60 game season, the good 60 game season. Hopefully we'll get from him. I'll go over.
Dope.
God, look at me. I'm going over on 2 of these for the Pirates hitters.
World Series champions. Hey, they're not going to have David
boy.
Price pitching to them. For one, because
Right.
they don't play the NL West, but also because David Price isn't pitching for anyone. It's just looking better and better
There
for
you
the
go.
Pirates, baby.
That's right. All right, DiNardo. We are going behind the plate
Stallings.
to Luke. No, to Luke
Oh,
Maile.
God. Luke Maile.
Luke Maile, baby. So a lot has been said about Luke Maile since Ben Cherington went out and picked him
Has
up.
it,
Was he
though? I feel like I
was he
haven't
their
heard about
first-
Luke Maile since like December.
Well, we talked about him enough. Was that Charrington's first actual free agent pickup?
It might have been. If not like
think it
his
was.
first, definitely like his second at least. But I think it was his first.
So a lot has been talked about his basically non-existent bat.
Oh boy. Are we getting a Chris Stewart over and under here? My annual
No,
0.5
we're not
home
going
runs.
there. 'Cause He does got 10 home runs on his career in limited time every year. So no, not going home run, DiNardo. Sort of along those lines.
Okay.
But let's say, so with Toronto last season, Maile slashed 151, 205, 235. He has a slugging percentage of 304 in his career. DiNardo, I'm going to hit you with a slugging percentage for Luke Maile
Under.
in 60 games of .261 and a half. 261.99999. Now,
Here's
you
what-
think slugging percentage,
Go ahead.
that's the lowest. That's so low. Like the bar is set so low. But here's the thing with Luke Maile. He's at a 257, a 361, 231, 366, which was his best year in 2018, and then a 235 last year. And he had like a 1-something in spring training.
Right.
261, DiNardo, that's low. But can Luke Maile do it? Are we going to get any power from this guy?
What's funny is his slugging percentage, the way it bounces back and forth like this, is actually kind of the reason why my next person I chose is what I did. But if he's going by his track record, this year it's going to be a high slugging percentage, right? But here's why Luke Maile scares me, Ryan. Everything we've talked about was 60 games, right? How weird it can be. Luke Maile's the backup catcher, which means this guy might see 20 plate appearances this year, which means if he hits one home run, he might dominate that slugging right there.
I think he'll see more than 20 plate appearances.
I don't know.
but
He
yeah.
might see 20 this year. Think about it. I mean, if you get one day off a week, if Bailey's in there one game a week, that's like 8 games.
Yeah,
He might legit see 24 plate appearances.
which is probably a good thing. I don't know. They might like his glove in the defense.
So
back there.
that's why they got Stallings there too. So that's what I'm saying. Like with him, it's so funny because albeit they're small, right? He's been a backup his whole career. Like he's at least getting like 130 plate appearances this season. Now this might be 20 to 30. So yeah, like you hit one hot game and that's going to get everything. So with that low number, man, Ryan, you're killing me. Here's the thing. What did you say again? To what?
261 and a half or 261.999.
Okay. So I am going to take the over just because he's just going to connect with one and that's going to make his season.
Betting on that bounce back, basically.
There you go. Jose Quintana's going to have
that
his first
trend.
game back on the year, right after his severed finger. He's going to come back and he's going to give up a haymaker to Luke Maile, and that home run is going to put me on the over.
So just like I mentioned, his slugging percentage in spring training was 188. through July 5th, Baseball Reference has their out of the park projection, they're doing.
Yes.
They have their simulated stats. He has a 242, so he's under. But Donardo's going with and he's got 2 home runs in that season. Now, that's in 38 games started, so they got him starting a lot in that season, apparently.
Exactly. Give me 2 home runs this year, and he might have a 500 slugging. So I'm
go.
down. Give me the over.
All right, going over on the Luke Maile slugging percentage. All right, who do you got next?
All right, Ryan. So, like I said, a little foreshadowing here. This guy, Mr. Joe Musgrove, the now ace of the staff. Like you mentioned about Maile's slugging. Here's Joe Musgrove's ERA every year. 4.06, 4.77, 4.06, 4.44. Ryan, I present to you the 2020 over and under for Joe Musgrove at a 4.06 ERA. Will he be below that? Will he finally be below it, or is he going to revert back to higher? Because, again, this is the year. This would be the year he goes back to the 4.06.
I think you did. Did you do a Musgrove war last year, Fangraphs war?
I did a 3F war. I believe it was last year.
And I won that because I won like every category last year.
Yeah, whatever.
I was like, I don't even remember what I picked, but I think I won. I'm high on Musgrove this year. I'm high on Musgrove, period. Shortened season. I got to think that would benefit him. Like you said, I think, like you said, you think like the start would favor the pitchers. Plus, I mean, these guys are, they're going to be starting too. We're going to be in midsummer. You know what I mean? Like, usually these guys are starting in April when it's cold and things might not fly off the bat. No, pitchers usually have their best stuff going in warmer weather.
So do the batters.
Yeah.
It's better to play in Wrigley, in Detroit, in March, as we did last year, in April.
Yeah. So 4.06 ERA.
Yes. And this is a guy, I mean, his FIP's been pretty nice, right? He's always had that better FIP than the ERA.
If I say he's going to have better than 4.06, I'm saying under.
Yeah, obviously that's better. I want Joe Musgrove to have better than a 4.06 ERA this year. So
I am going under on that then. I think he'll be in the 3s.
What a fanboy.
Yeah, I know.
All the overs and unders. You think the Pirates going to be good, Ryan? Jeez.
We're going all the way. This is a weird year, Donardo. Weird things are happening here. We're going all the way.
All right.
So there you go. Under on Musgrove. I don't even think about that. Hopefully nice, good first start for Musgrove, because that might only be 12 starts, like I mentioned.
Right.
All right. So I got 2 left for you here.
All right. Bring them.
All right. Let's go to this one. Ke'Bryan Hayes. Now most of you are saying, "Wait a minute, is Ke'Bryan Hayes making the roster?"
Under.
I thought
Give me the under.
He's still in the taxi squad. Well, he's not on the taxi squad, is he? Is he on like the? No, he's on like the main roster, but
camp.
Now it all comes down to I think
people's
if
camp.
you think this guy's if they're gonna hold him out for service time, or if they're actually gonna use him because they want him to get some work in this season instead of kind of sitting for a year and not doing anything. So Ke'Bryan Hayes,
Under.
especially you got with the third base situation now you have the DH to use, so you could put Moran at DH, even though Shelton's saying he wants to see Moran's going to spend a lot of time at third. It's like, what? Over under on Ke'Bryan Hayes, Donardo, plate appearances at 20.5.
Think about Hayes. He's got a good eye, so he walks a decent amount. So theoretically, he could get a couple walks and not reach the plate appearances. So just walk him.
Well, no. The plate appearance would still count. It's the at bats. That's why I went plate appearance.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So these are how many times this guy's at the plate.
All right. So your plate appearances were, again, how many? 24?
No, 20.5.
20.5.
Basically 40.
Oh, I hate this because, like, deep down, I mean, someone could get injured. He comes up and he hits that
Right.
easily.
I think he might be starting the season in Pittsburgh, but that's me.
But then again, see, like I feel like they just say, why not get an entire year of service time back because you don't plan for these stupid 60 games? That's a very Pittsburgh Bob Hunting mentality.
Maybe that's what Neil Huntington would have done, but is Ben Cherington going to do that?
I mean, he might have someone in his ear. You know, Ben, come into my office. You're not playing Ke'Bryan Hayes this year. I'll tell you why. Because our payroll was $50 million before this thing started. Now it's at 14 cents. I'm an owner. I hate paying people we found. So therefore, Ke'Bryan Hayes will not play this year because I'm not going to pay him in 2026. And there you go. And this is why I hired you.
Is that an under?
20.5. I mean, any number for him. You could have said 1. I would still be struggling. Because my thing really
sits where if you think he's going to be up. Yeah, at all.
All right, Ryan.
It's tough.
Deep down, I don't like this, but I'm going to go because I'm taking the over.
Wow. Okay.
I'm going to take the over.
I thought you would go under.
This isn't my gut, but I want to be logical because I'm tired of losing. I'm trying to win. I need to win. I don't think I've won a plank yet.
No, I don't think you have.
So, yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's only been 2, but yeah. There's been 3?
It's been 3.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I think I would go over. I think we are going to see Hayes quite a bit. I mean, if we see him, I think we're definitely going to see him a lot. I thought I did it because I thought you would go under because I know we've talked about this before.
Right.
But you're right. I mean, they could say, the whole service time aspect of it and just sit him down. But
right.
Like you said, an injury could force their hand too. They may need him.
Maybe.
But I think with Cherington, he's more the, maybe he'll push guys a little further. And the fact that, do you want this guy to not get any real time games in at all this year? I don't know if it all comes down to how they want to handle that essentially. And I ultimately think that they'll handle it differently than what Huntington probably would have. So I think he'll be here.
True. I mean, as weird as things sound, I mean, they could technically be in it. So maybe they do bring him up because they're in it. If like a Moran or someone is struggling, but also the opposite effect. What if Moran is playing good in these 60 games, right? What if he has a hot 60 game stretch and they're in the hunt? Like, do you call up Hayes now? If he's playing well, probably not. Assuming Josh Bell's also playing well. So that's why
but is Moran going to be playing well?
So many weird things. I don't know. All right. Next up. All right, Ryan. So we've talked about this guy a little bit today. I'm going to bring him back up because Ryan, he's filthy.
Yes.
And you kind of stole my thunder because you did the same stat as I'm going to present to you right now. Chad Kuhl on his K percentage. All right. Here's what I want to present to you. His K percentage for his career, his first year up 17.6, 2017, 20.9, and then it increased to 2018 to 21.7. Now he had Tommy John surgery, right? He's bouncing back, 60 games. Is he going to be a starter? Is he going to be a reliever? I present to you a K percentage of 23.999. Now it's going to be a big jump. One thing I want to say to you, just to put in perspective. He would have been the 85th starter, right? 85th ranked starter at that percentage. So it's not like it's astronomical. I mean, 24% isn't.
Right.
But as a starter, that's where he'd been. Now, as a reliever, he falls down. So if he goes in the bullpen, it might be easier to obtain that. As he is a starter, it might be a little bit harder. He's never come to that percentage. Not really close, but Ryan, he's looking filthy.
That's what Stalling says. All right, so what's the number?
23.999. Basically looking at 24%.
23.99. Yep. Okay. K percentage. It's like you said, it's gone up every year. Obviously, he missed last year. Coming back off that. He's healthy, though. He looks filthy. It's a 60-game season. Don't know if he's pitching in the rotation or the bullpen. Oh man,
Which the
he's
bullpen,
married
like
now.
you said, I mean, the bullpen probably would help him out here.
His numbers, like his batting average against, his whip, his BABIP, and his left on base percentage, like all 3 years, they're all around the same, like exactly the same almost.
Yep.
It's weird.
But is he going to throw that sinker 40% of the time?
Right. Here's the thing. Coming off that injury, you don't know. I mean, I said we heard Stallings say he looks nasty.
No,
We
we
haven't
did
actually
not.
seen it.
We heard Stalling says he looks filthy. Get it right.
Oh,
You're going
filthy.
to quote him.
Sorry.
Quote him right, Ryan. He looks filthy.
We've been saying nasty a lot tonight, but yeah, filthy. Did he? I'm looking up his spring training numbers here. So he pitched an inning and 2/3 in spring
Yeah, there's nothing
training.
to look at.
Gave up a couple runs, 1 strikeout. It's a lot to have that jump after missing a year and coming off the injury. Plus, it's a shortened season. Maybe it does take him a little longer to get going and to find his stuff again. And I've been over on everybody else so far.
Oh, come on.
I'm
Chad
gonna go.
Cool's the one you're
I'm
going to
go
use?
under. I'm gonna go under on Cool.
Damn it.
I just kind of play the odds here. Like you said, it's not astronomical. It could definitely be done.
Put a
And
W
hopefully
next
for his
to my
sake
name.
and for the Pirates' sake.
I've won a category.
Yeah. Hopefully for his sake and for the Pirates, it is over. But I will kind of play the odds here and go under.
All right. I like it because I'm going to
but
win that
I love Chad.
category. Chad Cool is going to be a strikeout machine.
Yes, he is. All right, last one for you, Donardo. We are going back to the bullpen for sure. We know this, and it is Nick Birdie,
I like it.
who, by the way, and out of the park, he's the freaking closer, man. He's legit. He is legit. Now I could do innings pitched with him because he seems to get injured.
I think that's what
after
we did
like
last
10
year, right?
10 minutes. Yeah,
I think
that was the only
gave-
category I
Oh,
lost.
is that okay?
So we are going to one of my favorite bullpen stats, WP.
Oh, okay. You do like that.
Now, good luck figuring this one out because this is a counting stat. This goes off of basically like the kind of the leverage situations you're in. If you're in a tight one run ball game in the 9th inning and you get a save, you're going to get a pretty good WPA for that game. And then it counts throughout the season basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to pull up his WPA from last year for
Not
you.
good.
All right, so his WPA for last year was negative 0.20, and the one before
In the
that, from
3 games
2018,
he played.
was 0.01. Now Kella last year I think was like 0.6, and when Kella was like a closer, it was like 1 point something with the Rangers. So you don't have too much to get to here. 60-game season, it's going to be a little less that too. But plus you got to think Birdie's going to be pitching in those situations that are a little more high leverage.
And think about Santana
So-
no longer in the picture now. Let's open
Yeah,
things up for
Santana's
him.
out. So the options of late bullpen game usage is kind of limited. So I'm setting Birdie's 60-game season WPA at .299.
So like you said, a lot of
It's
things
not
working
much.
against him. Only 60 games, right? His role itself is going to put in those higher leverage, moments. Or the Pirates going to have higher leverage moments. And is Birdie going to be on the team for 60 games healthy?
That's the biggest question mark.
Right. So like,
But maybe the 60-game season will help them. Maybe they won't be out there.
it's
as much. I
it's
don't know.
possible. A lot of things are working for me to say the under. But I'm a believer in Birdie's stuff as well. Right.
I mean, the guy. It's crazy the amount that we've talked about him. The dude has 10 career innings in Major League
Career.
Baseball.
Right. Not last year. Career.
Yeah.
I think he might get more than 10 innings this year. I will see. That's a good number though, Ryan. Oh. So this is like the reverse. Logically speaking, I want to take the under, but I want to go with the over.
Right.
And I might do the reverse that I did on
Birdie.
Ke'Bryan Hayes here. So I think I'm going to do the reverse. I'm not going to think logically here. Right? If I'm a gambling man, I'm going to put all my chips in for under, but I'm going to take the over here. Birdie is going to prove the reason why the Pirates have held on to this guy for so long. And I say guy because they got him as a child, but he is now matured into a man.
He's a man.
And he only has 10 career innings. So he is going to show why the Pirates have held on to this talent and why in Out of the Park he is a beast. And he's going to show it this year by getting a .3 WPA, which sounds so awful, you know?
I mean, honestly, if he's a setup or closer, 8th, 9th inning guy this year,
It's easier to
and he
paint.
does pitch the full 60 games, he should easily hit that .3.
Right.
So it's just depending on where he's going to be, and obviously the health issue is the big one for him. Yeah, I was going to throw the Kella WPA out there because he is slated to be the closer. I mean, I think that was like Shelton's first thing. He got the job. He was like, Kella's my closer.
Right.
But we've seen the injury to Santana. Birdie, the stuff is there. If he's healthy, he should be that guy to be at least the 8th inning guy.
And truthfully speaking, like who are you? I'm not gonna say fearing, but like who's ahead of him in the bullpen? We know Kella and Crick. Other than them two, is anyone really like defined their role? I mean, I think Birdie is going to give every chance to be, if you're going traditional roles, like the 7th inning man. You know, like he's third on the totem pole.
He had good numbers in 4 2/3 inning in spring training. He only gave up 1 run, 8 strikeouts in those 4 innings. It's so good. And then his simulated stats for Out of the Park, apparently they're using him as the closer, it makes sense because his ratings in that game is unbelievable. He has 16 saves in 34 games in Baseball Reference season. So, yeah, I mean, say if he gets 16 saves, shit, Pirates might be looking good, or that might be all their wins.
Yeah.
They might all be all save opportunities. All right, so I put you down for the over.
I like it.
So you went over on 4 of the 5 categories.
Well, here's my last one to you, Ryan. And here is even more reason why I'm going to win this one. Because there's potential that I'll get more opportunities of Birdie being in a high leverage situation. Because, Ryan, I present to you the last category, Keon Kella, over and under 59.5 games as a Pirate.
Wait, what?
The
Not games pitched?
games. It's basically what I'm asking you is he's going to play all 60 games as a Pittsburgh Pirate.
Oh, Jesus. So okay. So yeah, we're not doing because there's a stat for games pitched.
So, is he going to be a Pirate?
Because he's not going to pitch 50
No,
games.
that's what I'm saying. I'm not doing games pitch. Is he going to be a Pirate basically for 60 games?
Basically, when the playoffs hit, is he still a Pittsburgh Pirate?
Yes. Here's why I said, let me present it to you. Here's why I set it up, because there's a lot of speculations. This is what will be a fun category to get to, right? It's a shortened season. It's 60 games. Anything can happen. Theoretically, the Pirates could be in contention come the trade deadline. Keon Kella,
they better be.
Is last year of his contract, right? Based off history, Kella is good as gone this year at the deadline. This year's a totally different situation. New front office, probably same mentality, but with 60 games, you could be in it and maybe you say, you know what, we're going to keep Kella. Maybe, as some people speculated, you look at a long-term contract because there's only 60 games. And we talked about the trade value, how I'm not sold that there's going to be a lot of trades happening, because for a trade to happen, the other players have to be on the 60-man squad. And like we kind of talked a little bit last year, right? A guy like Kella. I mean, it's not like Mookie Betts. I need your A and B prospect, you know? With Kella, there's probably like, I'll take this, that. The guys might not be on the team's roster. So I think trading a Kella could be harder this year, but it makes all the sense to trade Kella this year. So Ryan, is he going to finish the season as a Pirate?
I am saying yes. Ooh. So I will go over.
Oh, and also, I just present this out there because, I mean, he might not get traded, but maybe he winds up in jail. I don't know. It's things have been happening with the Pirates bullpen. So
right, that's true. I'll go over. I think what you said, I mean, it's a new GM. Obviously, Ben, we'll see what he does. But I don't think Cherington's going to just trade Kella for, anything because he's got to go. His contract's expiring. Plus, the other thing is, it's not like maybe other years they may save $1 million or something by trading them. They ain't saving it. I mean, what their salaries are prorated. That's only for another, 22 games or something at that point for the trade deadline. So what are you saving at that point? So I think they hold on to him. And I think they could still always maybe they look at an extension for him. So I'll go over.
Okay.
I'm going over on the Kella 59.5 games as a Pirate. All right, Donardo, we got one more. The tiebreaker category.
Which we will not need. We've never needed it. And this year we won't need it because I'm going to dominate you.
Last year when I buried you last year, we didn't need it.
All right.
But I won that one anyway. Josh Bell, who we've done.
Seems like every year.
His over-under tiebreaker is the home runs category. We are going, we never get this right. We always said it way wrong. It was like when he blew up last year. We had it at like 14. He blew up.
Right.
So 60-game season. We're setting it at 16.5 home runs. I think I know where you're going, and I think I'm okay with it because I want to go the other way.
And what I think is funny is this 16.5 is, like you mentioned, this actually sets up to be about what we said every single year. But we have 37% of a season this year than normal, and we're still on the 16.5. So, I guess it goes to show the type of season he had last year, which, as you mentioned, we were way off on again. 16.5 home runs in 60 games. Ryan, am taking the over. Now, just so you know, within 60 games last year, not 60 games played, because just like now, he could have days off, but in 60 games, he did have 18 home runs last year. Now, he was also
he was also on
Barry
fire.
Bonds.
Right. So if you take 30, he had 37 home runs last year. 37% of that's 13.69. Nice. So, 14-ish. It's doable. I think we'd have to see that just unpitchable Josh Bell again, where he was just on fire, which hopefully we see that for 2 months. Because if we see that for 2 months, the Pirates may be winning the division.
If you hit all of your overs, Ryan, and I hit my over here, we are talking about the World Series Pirates.
Right. So, yeah, if we hit all that, we might be
Adam Frazier has
So,
60 hits. Ryan Reynolds batting .319, and Josh Bell has 20 home runs. Book it.
Luke Maile above a 260 slugging percentage.
World Series Pirates.
Who knows where we'll be at. So, yeah, I will go under with the Josh Bell tiebreaker. Because like I said, one DL stint is going to just put that out of question this season. One IL stint's going to pretty much do in any of these.
I know. That's what's now the thing that Josh Bell has going for him is the DH, so that does help out a little bit. So I like that. He can get a day off, but still get his at bats.
Play a little more. Yeah, I mean, if he's healthy, he should be batting 60 games.
And he's a big man.
So he shouldn't need a sit.
I think he can stay healthy.
We'll see how many. Actually, that's interesting too. How many days off are going to be built into this season? Which I'm guessing not too many if they got to get these in before the end of September. But
I think there's
all right. Well, there you go.
3.
There's the plan.
I think there's 3 built-in days off this year, Ryan.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll know 2 tomorrow.
There you go.
Yeah, because are they doing any built-in doubleheaders? Because you got to think with no fans, why couldn't you just do a back-to-back doubleheader?
I don't think so. Don't know for sure.
But
I think it's 60 games in 63 days, right? Well, like you said, they could have a doubleheader and gives you another day off.
Maybe, an extra. It gives you another day off.
We'll see. We'll find out for sure.
I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow, I guess.
I mean, this would be the
all right,
year to do it.
Right. Yeah, because there's no fans. You don't have to worry about the gate and everything and being
get
a
your games in,
MF-er.
you leave. You got to reschedule everything anyways now, and you're trying to get all these games in. So
there you go. So there's our plank. We'll get it up on the website, track it all year. Next week, I believe we will do. Are we doing our over-unders for the National League next week?
Yeah. Good luck on that, too. Well, actually, hold on.
I know.
We never really thought about it. Do we do the National League or because like now it's like the Central?
You just want to do the Central teams, like both leagues?
It's kind of weird. Like, should we stick to? Because theoretically,
I mean,
the
it's
Tigers
still,
are
it's
in a
still the
division
National
now.
League because it's
like in a way,
it's like we're still competing with those teams in the National League for the playoffs.
yeah. So okay, so we
even
can
though
still
we're not
stick
going to play
to
those teams.
the National League then. Okay, all right, that works for me.
You want to do that next week then? Because we got one more week before like the season.
Right?
really
No,
gets
we'll
into it.
definitely do
Two
that.
more.
We'll do that next week.
Okay. And we got all the.
Am I a
like
sucker
said,
for the
Pirates,
Mets
I think,
again?
at 25.
Do I sucker for the Mets, Ryan? I seem to do it every single year.
Oh yeah, the good old Mets.
Oh.
Yeah,
Cespedes
do
looking
the
good
National League.
in the cage. I'm a sucker for the Mets, Ryan. All right, we'll do the over and unders next week, and then NS9 Live will return this Thursday with Jim and I. And also look out the week after in the mornings. There might be a couple morning shows popping up by the North Shore
Morning
9.
shows.
Might be some morning shows coming, so get your coffee ready. Lord knows
I was gonna say you
I
and
will.
DK.
Don't go there, Ryan. But yes.
Okay. Yeah. What? Something that grinds your gears.
Oh, don't tell him. Don't tell him. All right, so that pretty much sums up for me. Anything you want to say, Ryan?
No, I'm out.
All right.
Let's get some more Chad Cool hype videos on Twitter.
Let's do it.
Let's go, Buccos.
All right, we out of here. We'll catch y'all later. Bye-bye.
Can't wait.
Peace.